For over 50 years, one Nome business has operated without computers, spreadsheets, or modern accounting systems. Just a typewriter, a century-old cash register, and the memory of a steadfast owner. We're gonna go inside Builders Industrial Supply for this story. We're here at the KNOM School in Wales, where the 3-day KNOM Dance Festival is taking place. The festival, now in its 24th year, puts drumming and dancing center stage. Wales sits on the westernmost point of the Seward Peninsula, just over 50 miles from Russia. With a population just over 150 people, the community is quiet most of the year. But each year, the KNOM school gym is flooded with the beating drums and stomping feet of dance groups from across Alaska.
They call this the Sleepless Festival, where you get sometimes no sleep. But in the end, it's always fun. It's a lot of fun to be here.
That's Robert Tukiana Jr., president of the Native Village of Wales and drum leader of Wales' own KNOM dance group.
Can you imagine doing this for 50 years?
On the west side of Nome is a store that's got a little bit of everything. Outside, there's a sign that sarcastically reads, "Sorry, we're open." Inside, you'll find narrow aisles stocked with supplies for workers of all types. The inventory isn't tracked in a spreadsheet. It's all in the head of Clark Redaway, the owner of Builders Industrial Supply.
My memory isn't what it was. I had a phenomenal memory back in when I started. It's still better probably than, I don't want to brag, but still probably better than 90% of the people out there.
Redaway says that's the way the business is always run. To this day, transactions still run through a cash register built in the 1930s. Redaway says if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I do it all in my head.
About 2.5 miles up the Beam Road, Leo Rasmussen opens up a white steel container. Inside are hundreds of fireworks, which Rasmussen has sold and known for over half a century.
So if people want firecrackers, I have firecrackers. You have all kinds of torches and rockets.
In the past, Rasmussen says he sold them out of a Chevy Blazer. These days, he's upgraded. The 84-year-old says he got started in the trade shortly after getting married in the late 60s. Back then, firecrackers were selling for just 20 cents a pop.
Now that's one firecracker, it's not a string of firecrackers. And I knew it couldn't be that expensive. And I checked into it and I found out how bad he was ripping off people. I decided I'd get into fireworks.
These days, Rasmussen lives in Fairbanks, but each summer he returns to Nome with fresh fireworks.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed, 50 years ago I'd be here 55 years later either.
Nome resident Greg Thornton does it big for the 4th of July. Each year, he hoists a giant American flag on the top of his truck. The tradition, he says, honors his late father who served in the military. Thornton says he's been shopping at Rasmussen's for over 13 years now.
Kids love it. I love it, The only thing I'm not used to is it doesn't get dark. So you can't really see them, but that's why you got to buy the big ones that blow up,
Rasmussen used to set up the shop alone. This year, he has help from his grandson, Tyler Hofford, and his partner, Cassidy Pearson.
I'm hoping maybe they'll take over sometime in the next year or two.
But he says as long as Nome needs fireworks, his family will be there.
You're there to please the public, and hopefully they'll please you by paying you for it.
In Nome, I'm Wali Rana. In Nome, one educator is ensuring that Native traditions aren't just remembered, they're lived. We visited the classroom to see how culture is being passed on to the next generation.
Hello, my name is Phyllis Wallach, and I'm originally from Gamble.
Inside the halls of Nome Bells Middle High School, most classrooms look the same. Rows of seats and desks face the front of the room, where teachers lecture by a whiteboard or from their desks. But one room stands out. It's open and spacious, more like a workshop than a classroom. This is Phyllis Wallach's space. She's the cultural arts instructor at the high school. Before that, she taught preschool, meaning that over the years, she's watched generations of students pass through her classes.
They're still coming through the school, but instead of teaching the basic skills they need for school, now I'm teaching them to sew, to bead, and so I'm still teaching them the life skills.
Wallach says she used to bring seals her son hunted to the school, where she taught students how to butcher and prepare them.
They were able to take some seal meat home that they helped cut, and some students had never touched or seen. So it was good for them to have that hands-on not just sewing and beading.
A giant double-door refrigerator hums along a wall in the class. It's filled with fish that the students will learn how to smoke. In her role, Wallach also teaches the students native languages. Being from Gamble, she's a fluent St. Lawrence Island Yupik speaker. In most of the Bering Strait region, though, various dialects of Inupiaq are the most common language. So, Wallach teaches both.
I don't fluently speak it, I just know some words. But, to incorporate that into my lessons too. Because, not all our students are St. Lawrence Island Yupiks.
Being a cultural arts instructor is a family tradition for Wallach. She says everything she knows comes from her family, especially her mother.
She worked exactly where I was. So that was over 30 years ago. So she was teaching here in this same classroom when I was in high school.
Wallach has been teaching in Nome for over 30 years. She says her love for students is what keeps her from retiring.
And like today, the bell rang and some of the girls just said, already time to go. And for me to hear that, it makes me happy that, they like being in here.
For Wallach, passing on these traditions isn't just a job. It's a way of keeping the region's culture alive, one student at a time. In Nome, I'm Wali Rana.